Scott Tady joins me in the studio now. If you want to see what he looks like, you look good, man. The hair looks good. Why are you putting the headphones on? You striking a pose? What's up with that?
Trying to look as professional as possible.
This is on Facebook Live, magically. So if you want to see, Scott, what you got rocking today? You got the Garth Brooks shirt.
I was going to wear my Beatles, my John Lennon shirt, because we were going to do a little Let It Be reenactment with David Gennady on your roof, but David called off sick today. We were going to go on the roof and jam a little bit.
Were you?
Style. Yes.
And he called off sick.
He's blaming Yoko. I don't know.
That wasn't Yoko's fault. Have you read about that?
I know. She used the scapegoat.
People say Yoko was bad. John Lennon, this may bum you out. You own a shirt and whatnot. He was not a nice guy.
Yeah, I've heard.
I've read books.
That whole Lost Weekend.
He was not a nice guy. But he was the voice of his generation, so you can get away with it. Yeah. So what's up? Now that the opening act canceled.
Yeah, now what do we do?
You guys know you do shadow puppets? We have a spotlight.
Hey, how about the Beaver County Boom and Boom on the Bridge? Big and rich. I'm going to say this is the biggest star power we've had in Beaver County since Hulk Hogan was in Freedom. To have Big and Rich.
What was Hulk Hogan doing in Freedom?
Remember they had the Freedom Wave. Someone in Freedom came up with this idea. Let's all do like a Hands Across America.
Okay.
We'll wave our flags, like our Terrible Talent flags, and supposedly the money was going to go to charity. But they never really explained a lot of, who's the money going to and why. And so
it was a dancer named Charity.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan showed up, and I remember during his speech, he said he was here to put America back on the map. And I didn't realize America had fallen off the map. But Hulk was here to take care of things, and thousands turned up in downtown Freedom, and it was an event. And
a gig is a gig, and you and I both know this 100%. Hulk got his check.
Yes, he did.
Before he went up on stage and got off.
And then thousands of us got our picture taken with him, so that's all that mattered. And but Big and Rich hit the country band playing on the Veterans Memorial Bridge. I'm so excited about this. It's going to be quite the day.
How busy are you for the next 2 months? Because I was looking at schedules, and you get the Big and Rich, and you get the Beaver County Boom. That's Push Beaver County, and it's all tied in. Day after tomorrow, you've got the Beaver Falls car cruise.
I'm in Beaver Falls tonight for the Neighborhood North. They're having some kind of a soiree. They want to introduce the Children's Museum in Beaver Falls.
Yeah.
They're celebrating their anniversary, and they're having a party tonight. They want people to spread the word, so I'm going to go check that out tonight.
And then, what is it, a week from this coming Saturday, Cruising on the Ridge, the first of 4 car cruises at the new location.
I'll be there.
How do you judge a car cruise? Because everybody has one, and your job requires you to have an objective eye. Now, that doesn't mean you show up at a car cruise and go, that was crud. But
you call that a 67 Mustang?
Yeah. How do you judge a car cruise? Because you go to most of them. They're community events. They're absolute necessities.
Well, I do like when they pump the music, and important to have a good DJ playing timely music, some good 60s, 70s kind of stuff. I love the fact that you guys are having live entertainment, too, with Dawn Savage singing.
Dawn Savage is going to sing. Donna Groom is singing the national anthem tomorrow.
Of the Skyliners. That's some epic vocal talent right there. So,
but you know the deal, right?
What's the deal?
How long does it take us to drag our crap out to the live broadcast site? About 4 steps?
Yeah, true.
Okay, so we just drag right out in the middle of it, and it's an easy gig, and it's a fun gig. It's from 11 to 7. Mike Romite is going to be your master of ceremonies for the opening ceremonies for the event Saturday.
Can I get away with my 2019 Buick? It is a convertible. Does that fit a car show or car cruise?
Everybody brings their cars. Yes, you have insane, cool, old cars, and you have tricked-out vehicles. But I remember last year standing – a guy drove by me in a Buick Riviera with, 3.5 of the 4 wheels. It's whatever, man. If you're proud of it, and your car's a nice car.
It's got a few knocks and dings on it, but it still looks nice.
No, it's everybody, and they cruise up and down, and it's...
You're going to have aerial support, too. I understand there's going to be a flyover.
There's flyovers. Tom Gargaro put the flyover together. It is a big deal. The first one I came to, it was the last one before COVID, because remember, COVID jacked everything up, and then they moved the date, and other people are in charge. First one I came to, I'm driving in thinking, all right, it's a car show, whatever. Blew me away.
It's like 7 blocks long.
It's a 7-block walking, eating, drinking, talking about cars, jamming to music party, and everybody was having a good time. It was like the Maple Festival when I was up there. It jumped out at me seeing everybody in a good mood. And that's what it's going to be 2 days from now here in Beaver Falls. Everybody in a good mood, everybody eating groovy food, and
you're going to have a similar size crowd
community.
in Beaver for Garrison Day, the one-day event, the big arts and crafts. If that's more your thing, that's going to be hopping too.
But you never did answer my question. How do you judge car shows?
Music. I mean, I know it's crazy. You're supposed to be looking at cars. I can count on seeing great-looking cars, and I like when they have the hoods open. I like when I can actually peer in and pretend like I know what everything is, and I don't. But
yeah, are you one of those? Because I will admit
I'm the same
openly,
way at an art exhibit, but go ahead.
I know how a car works as far as I turn the key and it does something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. I'm not going to walk and say, 427. I have no idea what I'm talking about. And guys can sniff that out, too.
They can. But, I think as long as you show interest in their car, that's what they're looking for, and they appreciate that. And you can always count on good food, too. So,
if a rock and roll legend had to pick one car, what would it be? You've got options there. You got all sorts of tricked out stuff, the ZZ Top stuff. Elvis was a Cadillac man. Janis Joplin was, I believe, a Mercedes person, at least for a little bit. But Scott Tady, you're a rock and roll legend. You can have any car you want. What would it be?
Ooh, I got to go with the James Bond, one of those cars, or the Dragula, of course, which was used in the Munsters, which Rob Zombie wrote a song about. And when I was in California, Nick Ziegler made us take a drive, and we got to see the Dragula in its showroom. This famous, from the TV show The Munsters car that, of course, they all drove.
It's got a casket built on the back
you
of it.
You can see it, and somewhere off West Hollywood, it's on display at a car dealership, and that's a pretty cool car, too, I think.
What do you got going on besides all the car shows? That's enough to fill anybody's bucket, but there's shows coming.
3 shows this weekend. Saturday night, there's a new band out of Pittsburgh called Feeble Little Horse, and they're getting national attention.
It's a good name.
Don't you like it? It's noise pop. A lot of national magazines writing about them. They're doing a 30-city tour that starts Saturday night at home in Lawrenceville at the Thunderbird. I'm going to go check that out. Sunday's last day, the Three Rivers Arts Festival. Taj Mahal, one of the last of the great blues giants. Yes, he goes on stage at 7:30. He'll do an hour-and-a-half set with his trio. I mean, this is a guy that Eric Clapton idolized. This is a guy that the Stones had on their TV show in '68. This is a guy who, the Allman Brothers were obsessed with. Taj Mahal is going to be in downtown Pittsburgh playing for free.
One of the great songs ever written about fishing. Have you ever heard it?
No, what is it?
No, that's it. It's Taj Mahal's one of the greatest songs ever written about fishing. That's absolutely brilliant. While we're talking about concerts, Scott Tady, Beaver County Times entertainment editor, he's been to buku concerts. He's sat in traffic just as much as anyone else.
Oh, you got to bring that up, dude.
Yeah, dude. How bad do you have to mess up to tick off deadheads?
That was
Monday.
I've been going to Star Lake since the year it opened. By far the worst traffic ever. I tried 5 different ways to get in. It was.
I didn't know there were 5 different ways to get in.
18 north, 18 south. I ended up in West Virginia coming eastbound through. I drove past some places in Washington County that looked like other planets. I mean, you're driving past toxic swamps, and I tried Old Steubenville Pike. I tried some road I never heard of. There was literally a dust and gravel road to an airfield in Washington County. Cannot.
What can you do? What can anybody do? Because if I paid several hundred, especially the cost of tickets now.
Yes.
If I paid a couple $100 and all I got to do was sit in traffic or abandon my car 3 miles from the joint, there's got to be a better way to do it.
For sure. I think they needed to check, do you have a ticket to the show? They've done that before for Jimmy Buffett. The problem was too many deadheads, realizing this is the last tour, they're coming from all over the country. They thought they just crashed the party. If I don't get into the gates, oh well, I can be in the parking lot. I can do my little dance. I can do whatever I do during a show. I can hear the music one more time. That was a problem for Jimmy Buffett shows for a while. So they started a policy you had to show that you had a ticket to the show to get in. And so
how did they do that? Were they setting up barricades out on the road?
They were, or at least the person at the gate to let you in. Of course, now people have their tickets on their phone. It makes it a lot more complicated. You could show something that your friend emailed that makes it look like you got a ticket. It might not scan. So maybe that's the reason why they couldn't do that. But that was a problem. Too many deadheads just crashed the party. I would like to see more sheriff's department or state police. I mean, there was a line a half-mile long on the berm of Route 22 to get in. The other side, coming from the Pittsburgh side, 2 lanes bumper to bumper. What if there had been an emergency? Our photographer got to the show. He had a motorcycle. He passed 3 miles of bumper to bumper cars.
He was doing like the Tour de France stuff where he's zipping in between cars to keep up.
Yes. So they got to address that. It was quite the problem.
Is it unfair to put the problem on Star Lake? Because if you're charging me $19 for a chicken sandwich, I feel like you could kick in a couple of bucks to build a second ramp.
Some of it's the fans, the Deadheads. I saw them in 1988 for the first time in Columbus.
I think I saw that tour.
Buckeye Lake?
No, not there, Chicago, but yeah.
And the same, as the more I'm thinking about it, we had to park our car by the side of the road and walk a couple miles to get there. I do remember that, but for some reason, this seemed, I left my house at 4:30. I should have got there normally like at 5:20, and it still was 7:30, and I was nowhere near. It was just 8:30. I'm sorry. So a 3-hour wait was just. It wasn't as bad in 1988. So I don't. Part of it's Star Lake's location. You're kind of isolated there. There's only one way in and out.
Right.
And that's been a flaw from the start. But I think the fact they announced it's a farewell tour too. Hey, Denton Company played twice already at Star Lake, and it barely sold out, or maybe it didn't sold out. You didn't hear this kind of problem. I think when they added the extra fuel to the fire, saying this is our last tour, you want to see us, that brought everyone out of the woodwork.
And it's a lot harder to walk now than it was in '88 with all those artificial hips showing up at these gigs.
And I don't trust that my car is going to be there when I come back. It's going to be towed. I do remember hearing people doing that before. So that was like, do I leave it by the side of the road? And I don't know if they towed or not, but it wasn't worth the risk.
How many times have you seen the Dead or some incarnation of the Dead?
With Jerry Garcia 3 times. Once second row back at Three Rivers Stadium, which was spectacular. But
did the air look like the air in New York?
Kind of did. Oh, it was the summer, and I remember they were wearing the most garish colored clothes. Like Phil Lesh, the bass player, was maybe the palest person on the planet. And he was wearing like this psychedelic stuff, and it was just jarring to the eyes in a different way than the cloud of smoke you're talking about.
Scott Tady is my guest. It is news and notes on entertainment. What should I have asked you that I didn't ask you? Because we got to cut it a little bit early because we're taking high school baseball straight up at noon today, and I don't want to miss that. I love you, but I ain't going to miss that. That's playoffs, baby.
Oh, wow. Well, today's story, I have a guide to ice cream in Beaver County. We have a list of all the indie ice cream shops. They have the hours, what's new this year, and it'll make you hungry for ice cream. Make sure you read it.
Do you have one ice cream shop that you make a point? I think a lot of people, it's the ice cream shop in their neighborhood.
True.
It's the ice cream, whatever. I drive by Punk's. I do that.
I was going to mention
and what's the one 4th and Merchant down on the corner? I don't know the name of.
Ice Cream Therapy. That is the hugest
ice
cream. That is huge. Their small is bigger than some larges.
Yeah, and anytime you go by there, if they're open, there's people waiting
for good reason.
So, what's your number one?
I would probably go Punk's. I also like Young's Custard out on the Beaver County Butler border.
Yeah,
just a good twisty cone there. And now they have food trucks this year. They figure people want to eat dinner first and then stick around for an ice cream cone. I like it.
You take a bunch of kids. Maybe the kid don't want ice cream. Maybe the kid wants taco.
True.
So, and then maybe.
Of course, Hank's has that covered. You go to Hank's, you get your Mexican food and your ice cream. That's brilliance.
3 taco special, baby. That's how you do it. You realize what today is. Are you aware of what today is?
Oh. Is it
your
the last time I'm here in the studio with you?
You are a historian of broadcasting and of media and of Beaver County. Today is the last time that you and I will be doing this particular show in this particular location. Would you like to share any memories of working with me here?
I've enjoyed every second of it. The music, we've had some great bands come in. The Christmas shows were a lot of fun.
Yes, they were.
And, but I know moving to the new location, we're going to have some more, even bigger and better music and live entertainment. So looking forward to that even more. I think it just bears note that the studio itself did like Motley Crue was in here back in the day. I still can't get over that.
On some of the pictures, you look and you go, wait, I know that dude. Why was he here?
Yeah, exactly.
So
we'll make new memories at the new spot.
All right. And if you see anything on the wall, just snag it, whatever.
Done.
Scott Tady walking out with arms full of memorabilia. It's the news and notes on entertainment. Baseball is coming up next.
Go Bucks. Oh, it's high school.
It's high school. You should have yelled that yesterday. They got boat raced.
7 runs in the first.
That's one of those. Mom, can I just go get my slushie from the concession stand now? Here, hold my glove.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team